Alice in the Wonderland, but sexy? Was the rabbit jacked or what up?
You're not wrong!
Who's ready for a little surprise I have cooked up for everybody? I have a special, I guess guest could be the word, but you all know how I'm how I hunt witches on the regular, right? The whole thing. I'm quite the talented hunter, and while normally I'm used to capturing witches, today I've got my eyes on a different prize. Look here, clunk! I caught a Cami-cat.
Prison.
Ah, they're so cute when they struggle.
No!
Look at Hey, Cami-cat, how you doing? You hanging in there? You doing well? Good, you having a good day?
That's a horrible pun.
Sorry. I'm sorry. My tongue's a little tied up.
I hate this.
Everybody, if you didn't know, this is Cami-cat. They're a creator on YouTube, having made D&D inspired hits like Maw of the King, Life of a Bard, as well as a bunch of original music for fandom like She-Ra, Steven Universe. Wait, are my notes right? Undertale? Ooh, that's something we can talk about. You've got a lot to talk about Undertale, don't you?
I would like to talk about anything if it gets me out of here.
Maybe after you answer my questions 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, I guess. But also, hi. Hello,
Hi.
I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy you're here too. I'm glad that we're hanging out. I hope you don't mind a few questions.
No, I do not. Ask away. I'm not going anywhere fast, apparently.
Yeah. We're having a good time right here, right, chat? We're having a good time. Say we're having a good time. Fantastic. So, you know what? This is a good time to start as any. Now, anything you want to say about yourself that I haven't said?
Other than, like, I do a lot of cover stuff. I do a lot of, I've just started dipping my toe into ciphers, which has been a lot of fun, as well as I've been a part of Man on the Internet and Internet Remix for a couple of years now.
Wait, when you say ciphers, do you mean like ciphers as in like cryptic languages or rap? Because I want to hear you rap.
No, I mean like rap. Yeah, no. Two of the main ones that I'm really happy about are the Kakegurui rap and the anime sharpshooter rap that I was a part of earlier.
Oh my!
And yeah.
Yo, anime and rap. That's exactly. Oh, that's my vibe. I love that. I've tried to write rap before, and it's like, oof, fam.
It's hard. I'm still hit or miss when it comes to my like features, and I'm still learning the ropes of it. Oh, I hate that. I made
Yo, you're burning through all of these so quickly. At some point, it just starts cycling over, and that's when it gets better. Puns are better the more you say it.
Of course they are.
Yeah, it's like conversational candy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so like, you like rap, right? So, wait, well, you tried rap. Do you have anyone that like inspires you? Just like a random question here. Like, is there someone you listen to?
Yeah, like I don't really listen to a lot of like the big sort of the reps that everyone knows. When I started, I look very much up to Hala CG, who is very on the scene when it comes to the anime ciphers. She actually introduced me to ciphers in the first place by asking me to feature on the Kakegurui one. So that's where I kind of started dipping my toe into it and like seeing the world of ciphers and stuff. And she is so good.
Yo, I have some recommendations if you're interested in some anime-ish inspired rap. Have you heard of someone called Calliope?
I have heard of Calliope.
Yeah. You a fan of the how much do you know all about VTuber worlds? You're dealing with a VTuber right now. Do you know how much do you know about the VTuber world?
I know a little bit about the VTuber world, not a lot. I only know that it takes a lot of work to get the rigging and stuff right.
Oh yeah.
And it is something that I am not familiar with. It takes a lot of patience, which I also am not familiar with. But no, it's really cool to see like all the different like VTubers and like the styles and all of that. It's really, really cool. Even though I'm not like a part of it, I kind of like observe it from the outside. I'm like, I love that people are having fun.
That's
like
a lot of it.
Fun. Yeah.
It is a lot of fun. I mean, look at you right here. You're all animated. Are you sure we won't be seeing a Cami-cat VTuber in the future?
I mean, listen, if I figure out how it works, if I figure out how the hell it works.
Hey, look, I'm right here. Like, honestly, I've know the 3D, the 2D. We can talk, fam. If we can get you up, yeah. If you got your connections. Your shoot. How can I make this a rope pun? Shoot, rope connections? Oh, okay.
I think we're reaching there. I think we're reaching a little far.
You did the unedited stuff before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah. So
I did a little bit of that.
A little bit. No, okay. Because this seems like a little bit of a sack, but I suppose you must have like heard Jubyphonic. Not Jubyphonic.
Oh my
Raichi?
god, Jubyphonic was one of the people I started watching. Raichi, yes, I love both of them so very, very much.
Go.
Like,
you know, Raichi's. Oh, go.
Oh, sorry. I was just like they were there when I started like my whole YouTube song stuff. Like, I loved all of that. Like the Miku Hatsune stuff. Kurainu is one of my favorites. Avron was also like on the scene doing early stuff. Everyone started doing different things now, or they're starting to reach out and do different things. Kira is a wonderful producer of like the songs and stuff. Oh my god. Like, I could go off.
Did you like freaking so actually like as a little side tangent, did you know Raichi's debuting as a VTuber? On the 13th? Oh my god, I didn't! On the 13th!
Oh, it's gonna be so fun! I'm just gonna have a blast.
Yo, right? I'm just saying, if we can like, cause I know the community tends to right now it's like a mix of unedited, VR chat, like. I mean, I'm not trying to drag you in here, but like you're here as well already. So
yeah, I definitely think that I'd have a lot of fun with it.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
You know what? We've been talking music stuff. Maybe we should get back to the tables and of the tops because that is why I brought you here.
Ah, right.
So it's a good place to start. Annie, how did you get started with D&D? Was it your first tabletop RPG ever?
No, it wasn't actually. I actually started with World of Darkness. If you're familiar with that at all.
Yeah.
Listen. I started with Hunter the Vigil.
Oh. Hunter the Vigil?
Yeah. I started with like the most like
sensible
vanilla out of everything. This is the world where you can do anything. You can be it. You're gonna be a human. And I'm like, okay.
Cause my knowledge of World of Darkness is kind of colored.
Yeah, no. I started with Hunter the Vigil, and not only that, but the campaign that I was a part of, my very first one, was actually a campaign that was started by a friend of mine, and it was the first campaign that she ever was a DM for.
Oh?
Yeah, so she messaged me and was like, hey, I have this thing that I would really like to do, and I think that you'd have a lot of fun with it. And it was a fully custom campaign. It wasn't a pre-made book. It wasn't pre-published or anything.
You went in running.
Yeah, no, basically, like, I've been saying, like, I've been dipping my toes in, like, all these different little worlds. Tabletop, I was literally thrown into the deep end. It was just like, go, learn to swim. And I was like, okay. But what was really fortunate is that she ran everybody through tutorials, basically like a session 0 for each person. So that I was able to sort of, yeah. She was really, really good at making sure that everyone had their own little like personal reason for their character coming into the world of Darkness. Because like, initially it is Hunter the Visual, so we're all humans, and not only were we human, we were starting out humans away from all the supernatural stuff. So she was like, okay, I gotta come up with a reason that each of these humans is coming into the world of the supernatural, and like why they're becoming hunters. So she came up with like different stories for each independent character, and I think when we started we had like 5 or 6 people, which was sick.
That's sick. for starting with Hunter the Vigil, you got caught by Hunter pretty easily. Just saying, fam.
Hey, I'm rusty.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while since I played.
You've been spoiled a bit with D&D, haven't you? A little bit.
I really like D&D.
I like it too, fam. That's why we're here.
I like have magic. I don't have magic here.
So like this Hunter the Vigil campaign, like how long did it last?
It lasted about 3.5 years.
What? Oh.
Total. Mm-hmm. And this was all fully custom. 3.5 years of 3 seasons of World of Darkness.
No, that's fair. Like, so you describe them in the seasons too. Like, I like it when people call it like that. It's like a TV show almost.
Yeah, it really was. We had sort of like the intro season. We had like our first conflict. We kind of started finally figuring out what our end game was by like the beginning of season 2, and that was also the introduction of like this other sort of like sub big bad that we had to deal with. And then season 3 was sort of like the concluding arc where all of our player stuff got figured out and all of the main story got figured out, and it was awesome. The last session was like 12 hours.
I'm surprised you didn't like try to, knowing that you're an animator, I'm surprised you didn't try like, I don't know, making a whole project with that. Did you?
Actually, so I didn't make like full project with it, but I made a couple of songs for the campaign. Some of them are on my SoundCloud. One of them actually lives on my YouTube channel.
Oh,
Hymn of the Lost. Yeah, Hymn of the Lost was part of that. Mm-hmm.
I'll have to give that a listen. I don't think I listened to that one. I'm also listening to your D&D content. Yeah,
no, that one was like one of the first songs that I used with my vocals for a campaign.
Mm-hmm.
That whole thing,
you sang during the campaign?
Not like actually full on sang, but like I made a bunch of tracks for my friend to use. I was like, if anything ever gets sad, you can use this and you can use it against me and I will thank you. Like I very much was like ready to like hurt myself with feelings.
Oh, I feel it. I've had God, the amount of years I've been on tabletop, I've been how can I say, described as a narrative sadist at times.
Yes.
You're all for that. You're all for that kind of GM style?
I'm all for that. I'm all for just like getting punished by feelings.
Oh man, like your GM, is it your only time you play with them, or?
No, I've played with them. She's actually also the reason I got into Dungeons and Dragons. So like,
really,
I'm playing with her as a player in the first D&D campaign that I've ever been a part of.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gosh. What's her name? Like, like
her name is Uzu. You can find her on Rogue Uzu at Twitter. At Twitter, she is a wonderful artist, and I love her very dearly.
Okay.
She actually, like, for the Dungeons and Dragons thing, it was sort of like the same scenario of messaging me going, hey, there's a thing that's opened up and I'd like you to be a part of it because I think that you'd enjoy it very much. And I was like, I trust you with my life, we'll do it. And I don't know what to play. I don't know how to, like, or actually it wasn't the first D&D campaign I've ever played. I should say the first private campaign I've ever played, because there was a campaign that I played on that was streamed for a while.
Oh.
That one was Tomb of Annihilation.
So I love Tomb of Annihilation. How did you find it? How did you find it?
So remember when I said Internet Remix before?
Yeah.
One of the people in charge of that was like wanted to run a pre-published campaign, and he was like, "Hey, I think that you'd really enjoy it because you enjoyed World of Darkness a lot, and it's a different kind of tabletop, but I think it's still very fun." And I was already very familiar with D&D, if only because it was like, "Oh, you play Dungeons and Dragons?" I'm like, "I don't play that. I play World of Darkness." And everyone goes, "What the is that?"
Yo, yeah, honestly, like, World of Darkness is not the more mainstream of the games. It's pretty up there, like well known enough, but like, yo, you came in almost an indie side versus mainstream side.
I know. I kind of really like it though, because as much as like I've enjoyed pre-published campaigns, because like I'm also playing a Waterdeep campaign with the same guy who was running the Tomb of Annihilation campaign. As much as I like the pre-published stuff, I think I personally enjoy like custom campaign stuff more. I feel like it allows like more creative freedom for the DM as well as like the players.
Right.
And you can basically make up your own rules. Like if I ever did anything, I definitely would want to like run everything custom because I just don't want to listen to the rules or like follow the basic line.
I don't blame you.
Nah, let's just do it. Let's just go for it.
When I tend to like run games, the amount of times I'm like, the amount of times I'm like, okay, what's in the rules? I'm like, let's just give me a roll. Fuck it, just give me a D20. We're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man.
Like, what I like about World of Darkness is that it's literally just like, instead of a D20 plus all this math stuff, it's like, the number of dots you have is the number of D10s you have to roll. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense to me.
Clean.
And you're not counting like the total. Yeah, you're just counting like the ones that are above 8. I'm like, okay, sweet. I can count to 5.
What's 3 more? I love dice pools. Like, so is World of Darkness and D&D the only 2 you've played? Or have you played more than that?
Those are the only 2 that I've like really played. The DM who played me in both of the pre-made Dungeons and Dragons ones, pre-published, I can't think of words. He actually is working to introduce me to Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, that'd be so good. Call of Cthulhu is like fun fact. Did you know that Call of Cthulhu is the most popular tabletop in Japan, hands down? Like the most.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's I think second is currently Pathfinder and like D&D 5e, but the most popular one that keeps getting remade by everyone is Call of Cthulhu. Apparently, they made Call of Cthulhu extremely anime.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that Xander, like, that's the DM. Xander, he's crit fail safe on Twitter. He is a wonderful DM in like establishing things and like getting. He's really good at setting scenes, and he's really good at like voicing the characters. Ooh. Like he's a very, very good DM in that sense, and like he's basically been trying to drag me like with my nails dragging across the floor like into Call of Cthulhu. He's like, "You're gonna love it," and I'm like, "I don't know if I'm ready."
If you like emotional sadism, Call of Cthulhu is that. Except, be prepared to have 2 or 3 backup characters in case you Call of Cthulhu out. You know what I mean?
Oh God!
Like
that's terrifying to me. Like I've never lost a character before.
What?
Yeah, no, I've never lost a character like accidentally or anything, or like lost them in combat or anything. Every time that I've had to like stop playing, it's been for like an outside reason.
Wow. Really? Huh, you played World of Darkness and you didn't die?
I almost died. There have been plenty of times where I almost die. I haven't died yet, but it's become a running joke to me now with me and my DM Uzer. I'm like, well, I can't wait to die this session. She's like, you're not going to die. I'm like, I can't wait to die.
Yo, like... I captured you thinking you're a human, but like someone in chat's like, yo, she's a witch. I'm like, kind of sus now. It's kind of not dying in anything. Well, that's kind of sus.
I've been very fortunate in that friends have prevented me from dying. And that sometimes it's for like narrative purposes. Like the World of Darkness moment where I almost died, it was actually purposeful. And it ended up being that the action that I took, even though it looked like it was going to end like the character, actually ended up being what I was supposed to do. And I got saved at the last second. And I was like, oh my God!
Wow, that's...
I waited for 10 minutes to make the decision because like this was my first, like it was my first tabletop character. It was my Natalie Quinn girl. I loved her to bits. And I was so sad in that moment.
Do you have any art? Oh, I'm wondering about that.
I do, but not on my computer. I probably could find like one of the early arts I did of her on my DeviantArt.
Oh, your DeviantArt?
Yeah, I have a DeviantArt. I like barely use it, but I have it.
I checked it out, and I was like, the last picture I saw was like 2018. I'm like, should I use this reference to pull up Cami-cat?
No, don't use that reference.
I was thinking about it. I'm like,
don't use that reference, please. Thank you.
Oh my God, no.
Oh man.
But
no.
As a writer, I fully understand not wanting to look at your old work. I found a fanfiction.net account from 2005.
Oh my god, wild.
It's kind of it's got problems.
Oh, this is a good picture because like even though it's super old, I still really love this because this was right after her tutorial, and it was a very emotional time for me. Remember when I said like it was really nice having the tutorial and going through stuff? I never said that it was an easy tutorial.
Let me see if I
my lovely
pull this up.
Uzu, she kidnapped my character's entire family, killed one of her dogs, and implanted a flower into her head.
Killed one of her dogs and planted a flower in her head? Yo,
yeah, I never said that it was easy.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, this is oh, it's pretty. Did they all die? Did they all die?
They didn't all die. The dad lost his arm, but they didn't all die. I actually got them all back in the end.
This art looks like they all died.
I mean, to her, they might have. In that moment, I was like, oh god, they're all kidnapped. And I didn't see them for 2.5 seasons. So basically for like
2.5 seasons? 2.5 years?
Yep. I didn't see them for years, and I was like, well, they're dead. Though there were moments where like I at least didn't see them all together. I did get one of the brothers back near the end of the first season, but then they got taken in the beginning of the second season, and it was really sad. But I ended up getting them all back in the end, and it was very good, and I cried a lot.
I'm over here. I'm over here, like just hearing the story, and I'm feeling emotionally invested in this. And I'm like, that's like the power of tabletops, you know?
That's the power of tabletops and having a GM who knows specifically how to wreck you. Like having a really good friend who knows what you like and how to make you suffer is like the perfect two sides of a pain coin.
You are I was checking out Uzu just a moment ago, and are they starting any new projects? That like they sound like a fantastic GM.
Yes. Fun fact: Uzu's actually talking about the campaign that she ran as the GM. So she's actually going through doing speed paints of all of the player characters and talking about their tutorials, as well as in the future talking about like the main plot of the campaign that we were in. So like. For me, I love it because I'm like, I'm going back to a memory lane with all of my favorite babies. Let's go. It's really fun.
That's nostalgia lenses. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's powerful.
Yeah, she just got a new mic too. Her quality is just like skyrocketed after like one video. And I'm just like, yay! I'm so excited for her.
Didn't you recently get a bunch of upgrades?
I did actually. Yeah, no. I have a new work desk. I have a new PC, which I'm really excited about. I have a new drawing tablet that I can actually draw on the screen, which is like super cool.
What kind of drawing tablet did you have before? Like how old was your previous setup?
Like 5 years.
You've been making... Okay, I was looking on your YouTube. Like your first video was August... What, like at 9th, 2010, I'm checking here? You've been doing the same setup for 5 years, and you're a YouTube creator.
Yep.
I'm impressed. I thought, like, doesn't everyone just immediately jump to getting the next big thing, like, immediately?
Well, everyone feels like they need to jump and get the next thing in order to get ahead, but it's really,
Do you not?
like... No. Like, what I learned from starting out is that you really don't need to have... the most expensive products. You just need to get the products that you can work best on. And that's not always like the most expensive. Like my little Wacom draw that I started with was like maybe $50 versus
I'm learning
like,
so much here. I'm learning so much
and
here.
it was one of the tablets like you didn't draw on it. They didn't have a screen on it. Like I connected it to my computer. I had the disconnect between like my eyes and my hand that I had to learn. But and I had my little laptop that I worked on for years, upgraded to like a gaming laptop just so I could do a little bit more stuff. This is the PC I just bought is the first like personal PC that I have owned ever. And I am 26.
Well,
I did not own a personal PC until 26 years old.
I can't even imagine that. I was like getting that kind of like, wait, how did you do schoolwork? How did you do laptops? Laptops has to be laptops, right? Because like,
well, like I did it on my laptop, but like
Okay,
back in
okay.
my when I was still doing the high school.
back in my day.
Back in my day, we weren't dealing with a lot of like digital stuff. We did a lot of or if we did do it digital, it was mainly just like writing papers. It wasn't like doing anything super big. And then by the time I got my laptop was when we just started moving more to like doing more digital work and everything. It wasn't like I didn't have a computer at all, but I had a family computer and like we all worked on it together on different things.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Jesus. So like, so does that mean with your new setup we're to expect like even bigger and better Cami-cat stuff in the future?
Well, hopefully once I have time for it. Like I literally have like I do everything I can in my free time, which is very limited, but I've learned to sort of like prioritize what I need to work on. So
You're not a full-time YouTube creator?
oh god, no. I have a full-time like 40-hour a week job that is like
40s?
yeah, it's a full-time job. So I do that and then I like come home and I'm like, all right, time to do my YouTube stuff. Cracks fingers.
How do you balance that? Do you like how do you make it work?
I don't. Okay.
You don't? Oh my god.
No. Basically, like the main thing you really need to do is just like take everything and like chop it up into little bits, including like just general life stuff. It's like, okay, what do you need to prioritize today? What can you get done today? And what are you like? It's mainly like, yeah, what can you get done today? Whether or not that is like the time allotted and you can do as much as you possibly can, or if like mentally you're just not all there. And I'm like, there are some days where I'll get like 4 frames of something out and I'm like, done. I got something done today. I feel accomplished.
That's really good. Learning to like segment your projects into like smaller bits to like make it doable. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah. Wow. Yo, I like you pump up some quality stuff. So I was just like, I'm surprised that you're not a full time like you didn't do full time. Are you planning on doing that in the future or what's up?
There is definitely a possibility of it. At the moment, I am working on an announcement video for a Patreon, and depending on depending on how that goes, I might be able to like make the argument that I could possibly do this full time, but we have to see how it goes.
Hey, that'd be really exciting. Like, you know, being creative is so hard, but nowadays, in like this digital age, I think it's more doable than ever. Like, you know, we don't have to Van Gogh bite our own ears. I don't know Van Gogh stuff. Did he bite off his own ear? I don't think it's possible. Wait, hold on.
I don't think it's possible to bite off your own ear. No, he cut it off. He cut it off and sent it to his lover.
Oh, so that wasn't an art thing. Okay, wait. I don't know art history.
I took art history in college, like, so.
Oh shoot! Damn.
I only know like that's sort of like a general thing to know, but yeah, no.
No, but like with Patreon and like other kind of revenue sources, it's doable. Like I'd be really I'm excited for a new generation, like not even just new generation, but like a new era of just being able to create what you want and survive with it, you know?
I think that a lot of people are like really fortunate that with the digital world, it's like it's so much easier to find out how you can do it. When I like first started YouTube stuff, like being a YouTuber wasn't a thing for a good first like 4 or 5 years of me being on the like on YouTube. And then even after that, I was like, okay, but how do people do it? Like, how do you constantly make all that stuff when you have to deal with all these other things? And then like I found out later that it was like, oh, they did it full time. They like just took the leap of faith and like
went in.
I was like, oh my god, that's terrifying.
That's intense. Speaking of first time YouTube, I mean, yeah, something I was gonna segment.
Oh no, I was just like finishing.
I was.
Yeah.
I'll go for it.
Oh no, I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
No, I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry. Why am I so apologetic? I caught you. So,
yeah. Why are you apologizing?
Are you
apologizing for tying me up?
As the person in charge in here, I'm gonna say you go first.
Oh Lord. Yeah, no, like the YouTube
Okay.
world was so different in like 2010, 2011. My little like idols that I looked up to, I wanted to be like a full-time animator person. And watching all these people, I was like, oh my gosh, look at them. They have like 8,000 subscribers. That's insane. And I look back on it now, I'm like, oh my God, that was insane, but it's insane how much it's like grown.
What are you at now? 155K, I think?
I'm at 155K, yeah.
Wow! Cami! Congrats on all of the things. Holy!
I know, it's so wild.
Wasn't also the that song of yours, Life of the Bard, wasn't that like some joint thing with Joe-Cat at some point?
It wasn't necessarily a joint thing with Joe-Cat. So the fun thing about Life of a Bard is that it wasn't supposed to be a full version at all. I made that 10-second little meme song for just the sake of it for that one video, and I wasn't going to make a full version. But the guy who made the ukulele for the little meme that I made messaged me like a few days later. It was like, hey, so you know that thing you made? I didn't know you were making it for Joe-Cat. And I was like, yeah, no, I made it for Joe-Cat. And he was like, oh, yeah. So I got really inspired and I made a full song. And I was like, oh. He was like, you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
I guess you're singing the whole thing then.
Yeah, I was like, I guess I'm doing it.
Yo, let's toss it up onto the screen. Here you go. Let's go. Let's just go a little clip.
A little tidbit.
It's such a bop, right?
I really love it.
Hey there, I'm the bard of the team.
Oh my
I got
gosh,
a tragic
it's so
backstory and my class is a meme. I'm the ace of the race,
no,
the other bards are whack. I'm a jack of all trades, including
the Furbolg character. I was like, who's the Furbolg? I'm like, what is that character? I'm like, it's me as a Furbolg. Like, it's not that hard.
That's so cute.
That's all it is, yeah.
the jack.
Because in the video, I was like, my Furbolg sings to the villain. Oh, there's Uzu.
That's Uzu? Aw,
Yeah,
Uzu cute. Uzu's cute.
I messaged her and I was like, hey, Uzu, you want to be the barmaid in the song? And she was like, sure. And I was like, thank you.
Just a little bit more.
Barmaid in a skirt. I hope you don't mind, but I'm a devious flirt. Light me up on the stage of your beauty, I'll sing and I'll show you just how I strum my strings. Hey now, it's just life with the bard.
Oh my, it's so delightful.
Hey, wow, you're so because I flirt with every NPC. Woo!
Are you like people have called you when I talk about you? So people are like, "Oh yeah, the modern bard." I'm like, "Yo, is that your title?
Modern
have you people
bard?
called you that?" Yeah,
I've
like
never heard that.
I've heard that. They're like, because then you make original D&D like music, and there's like, yeah, no, it sounds exactly like a bard now would like, you know.
Oh my god, I love that though.
Yeah, you're the modern bard, fam. Like, I heard of you from Maw of the King, and like, can I throw up another clip of that? You don't mind?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go, folks.
Beware his mocking
How do you not think you're a bard with this?
Well, this was made purposely to sound like being a bard because this was for Danny. This was her introduction to the campaign.
I'm sorry, you introduced. Did you come into a campaign singing already? Because that's impressive.
Yeah. So, oh my! What happened was Danny was a design that I had for a couple of months before I got invited to this custom campaign, and Uzu was like, "Hey, join this campaign." I was like, "I don't know who to play," and she goes, "What about that character you showed me months ago?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, who is she?" And Uzu was like, "You want to roll for her?" And I was like, "Sure."
Delightful.
And so we were just like, hey, who are you? And I was like, I know her name, I think. And I know I want her to be a bard. And then we found the backstory stuff or like the background. And I was like, ooh, folk hero sounds fun. And then we started rolling a bunch of different events, like random stuff, just to figure out what kind of person she was. And I remember distinctly, one of the roles for like the background, like the history was a random event, and the random event was you got eaten by a giant fish and you lived. And I was like, oh my god, that's how she became famous. Hold on, nobody move. And I like ran over and I like to my little music production thing, and I just started like building this little song. and it kept building and it kept building it, so that by the time that I got into the first session that I was a part of, because the campaign had been going on for like 2 years, and I was just joining for the final arc. So
I had a question.
Yeah.
Wait, so it's a giant fish? I thought it was like a Leviathan creature or something. It's just a
the song
big
is purposely
fish?
vague. The song is
Okay.
purposely vague.
Okay, I
I
was
think-
just like, okay.
I think what we ended up doing is that there is actually a legendary like aquatic thing that we decided on. I just can't remember what we called it. It started with like a megalo something.
The king, though. The king.
Yeah, it was the king. Basically,
The
like
king!
she didn't care what it. She didn't care specifically what it was called. Like her town just knew it as the king. It was the king of the Undertow. It was this giant thing that kept on like eating their ships and killing their people. And
And Danny got eaten by that and survived?
yeah, and lived.
Wow. Okay, that is so hype. What?
Yeah, no, it was super interesting. And she like purposely fluffs up the song, so it's like not the reason that it's super vague and that it's like super hype is that, you know, like she's sprucing it up. She's putting a little bit of garnish on it to make it sound a little bit more epic.
Can we get to my favorite part of this? One of my favorite parts of the song. I just want to like pull
Yeah,
that
by
real
all
quickly again.
means.
Like when it's this is a great start, but when we get to this, I got into it. Fantastic.
Clapping. Yeah.
And this felt I for a moment when I first listened to the song, I felt like I was in a tavern.
Yeah, that's the reason that I made the song the way it is. I purposely only used the accordion and some percussion because I really wanted to like emphasize that tavern feel.
It feels like a tavern. It absolutely does. That's why I was just like it when I first listened to it, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good. But like the more I listened to it, the more infectious it got. And I realized that's the exact feeling I think a bard would have at that time. I was like, okay, I get it, Mr. Bard of the Witcher, I get it. But also like, but play one more time. Give me one more play. God, no. Modern bard. That's why I've heard people like refer to you as. You've never heard this.
I've never heard it, and I really like that. I really like the title. I might steal it.
Take it by all means. You know, if I eventually let you out of here. But you know, well,
yeah, whenever I get out of here, I'll update my little profile.
Cami-cat the
Eventually.
Modern Bard. That's dope. Oh man, so we skipped. I actually wanted to.
Around a lot. It's okay.
I was gonna actually ask what inspired you to make your first D&D song on YouTube, but then you just told me literally it was for a campaign, and you're like, hey, what if I upload this?
It wasn't even supposed to be for YouTube. Like, it was mainly because the campaign had been going on for 2 years. I was just sort of joining on the back end. I was kind of familiar with some of the other players. There were a couple that I wasn't familiar with, and I wasn't as familiar with the DM. But basically, I made this song, and I sent it to the DM, and she was just like, oh my god. Like, you want us to play like whenever they ask like who you are, and I was like, yes. And so I like joined in, and then like one of the players was like, so like what do you like, how do they know you, like what are you known for? And I was like, I'm glad you asked. And like the DM started playing the song, and everyone went, wait, what? And I was like, ah. And everyone was so enthralled with it, and they were like, oh my god, you should post this on YouTube. Like, it sounds amazing. And I was like, really? And they were like, yeah, it sounds amazing. And I was like, well, okay, I don't feel like drawing right now, so I'll just get a friend to draw the picture for me real fast, and then I'll just like edit it together. And I threw it up there, and then
bam. Are you? And it's like, what? Is it one of your biggest videos?
It is my biggest video on my channel.
Hey, here's a question. Here's a quick question. Like, so you're telling me you accidentally became a D&D singer?
Yeah, I accidentally became a D&D singer.
Complete accident.
Yeah. I mean, you can see once I like put that up, I literally just fell into it. Everything before that was just kind of like covers and like a little bit of like fun songs that I tried to find my little niche. I'm already familiar with a lot of different nerdcore artists who make stuff for like video games and stuff.
Yeah, so, I'm looking at this
stuff. I did like songs. I did covers.
I see Hymn of the Lost. I see Hymn of the Lost here.
Yeah, no, Hymn of the Lost. That is because I wanted to put that up as soon as Mob of the King started doing well, because that was like the song that I originally made, like super early on. I was like, oh my god, I can show off the stuff I made years ago! Yay!
Wow. You just literally fell into this.
Yep.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Like, so actually I actually had a question about that one. So it's your most popular one. Is it your most favorite?
It's definitely not like it's definitely.
Is this okay to ask? This might be like that's a big question.
You're fine. Okay. It definitely holds a special place in my heart. It's definitely one of my favorites. I definitely have other songs that I think I put a lot more effort into. This one was just like a fun little bop that I made for kicks and giggles, and like I think one of my personal favorites that I ever made. There are two of them that I can think of off the top of my head. I really loved Lioness, because that was the first one that I really put a lot of thought into. And
that was your Shira one.
Yeah, that was my Shira song.
Oh, where? Let's see if I can pull it up.
Scroll back up a little bit, because it was more recent. A little bit more. There it is. You can see the flyer. Yeah, there it is.
Wait. Oh, wait, no. Wait, no. There it is. The red. Okay, all right. You want to hear that for a bit?
If y'all like rock.
Rock. Hell yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, it's the sound that I really wanted to sing for a hot minute. It's one of my favorite things to do. So
let's go. Let's pop it up. And let's put on my magical signboard.
And the editor did a phenomenal job. Like, this was the first time I worked with an editor that I really wanted to work with. Charlie.
Wow.
Charlie. Such amazing work.
Wow. That's strong. So you would say this is your most favorite song that you made?
It's one of my favorites, and then Daybreak is another one of my favorites.
That's strong sound, damn. Like, okay, all right. Since we're already here, whoa, your vocals. I'm sorry, I want to go back. I want to hear that part again. I want to hear that. I want to. Us against the world. Whose only goal is to find a way to climb the ranks within the field. We take on anyone we please. Yo, I am such a fan of Shira. I loved Shira. Like, okay, so
yeah, no, Shira was really good.
Were you a shipper? Did you ship him? Did you? Yeah.
I saw it happening. I was kind of like, oh, okay. Like, I knew inevitably they looked like it was going to be an enemies to lovers thing, like friends to
immediately. I sensed that. I thought that.
I was like, yeah, yeah, this is happening. I don't mind.
It's spicy. Thoughts on her last, like, so did you watch all the way to the end?
I did.
Thoughts of her final design, the final outfit. Shira's.
Final outfit for Shira?
Yeah.
I like it. I really like it.
So boss.
Yeah.
So good. It felt so much more like her, you know what I mean? Like, for me, it always felt like Shira was like a role that she had to like put on, but therefore it felt like she really. I'm sorry, I'm just talking about my Shira feelings now.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah, it felt like it was always like a role she had to put on, and like at the very end, it's like she is that. You know, this is her.
Exactly.
This is who she is.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, this Shira song is one of my personal faves, just because a lot of hard work went into it. And then my other personal fave is Daybreak, because all my little baby dreams came true in that one song.
Let's pull up Daybreak.
Yeah, because one, it was like hitting 100,000 subscribers. I never thought I'd make it that far. Then there was also the fact that it was my first collaboration on my channel with Caleb Hiles, and he's one of my like personal idols. I looked up to him so much.
You so wait, so you looked up to someone and now then you got to work with them?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
It was crazy.
So like,
yeah.
How did it feel working with someone that you eventually looked up to? Like you looked up to and then eventually started working with them?
It was a little bit surreal. It was definitely surreal. The first thing we ever collaborated on was actually a couple years back after I saw him for the first time at MomoCon. A few years ago. Yeah, it was my first convention, and I went there specifically to go see him perform and see Jonathan Young perform, and it was so amazing. And what happened afterward is that I joined Caleb's Patreon and joined his Discord, and in it, like, he put up a little preview of his "This Is Me" cover he was gonna do, and I was like, "This is amazing! It also needs a chorus. Hold on 1 second." And
Oh!
And so I basically just like took the clip that he had made so far and I added a chorus onto it for kicks and giggles. And he messaged me a couple weeks later going, "Hey." Yeah. He messaged me a couple weeks later going, "Hey, do you still have the tracks for that?" And I was like, yes.
And you're in.
After I redo them and make them better.
My God, that's really cool. Just doing cool stuff, you know?
Yeah, no, it was wild. Finally seeing him, like, finally doing Daybreak with him was sort of like, oh, this is my project, and like, I get to work on it with somebody that I like, and like, I got the art was also insane, the black and white art for it, because it wasn't only just my little baby dream coming true. The artist who did the video, her character is actually the guy in that video, and her voice headcanon is Caleb Hiles for the character, and so I didn't tell her what I was planning. And I was just like, "Hey, so I have a proposition for you. First off, I gotta be honest. I made a song about your character." And she was like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "And I got Caleb Hiles to voice your character." And she was like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "And I need artwork." And she's like, "Say no more." Say no more right now. I got you.
Let's cut really quickly to Daybreak, y'all, to give everyone like a little listen, you know?
Yeah.
Hold up. Oh. All these characters have to have some story behind them. This is good.
They really do. This is Uzu's character in the campaign that Dan arranged.
Oh, Chill's there. Chill's here.
Yeah.
Oh, was that? I remember listening to this. I know it's like hot, like really hot. There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
I was like, wait, where is it?
Where does it drop? Where does it drop? There.
Oh yeah. Oh, powerful. So you like rock a lot? It seems like you really like these rock songs.
I do. I really like the sound of it. I like being able to like get emotion out. Like,
yes.
I love rock and I love Broadway.
Rock and Broadway aren't typically something you. That's power. That's some vibes. That's some vibes. I respect that.
In both of those, you really try and get an emotional tug out of the viewer, or the listener, and so like I love both of them specifically because you can really kick somebody in the heart with like the emotion you're trying to get across.
Kick someone in the chest with the sound. Yeah, okay. All right. You know what? Yeah, you're definitely the modern bard fan. You want to hit someone with sound and feelings? Yo, come on. It's right there. It's right there.
Well, I guess I gotta go change my profile.
See your chest? I'm gonna kick it lyrically.
I'm going to kick you with so many feelings.
Yo.
I will leave you on the ground crying, and you'll like it.
Powerful. Do you play any rock instruments like electric guitar or something?
I've tried learning the guitar. I know like 4 chords. I'm not the best. Literally, all of the music that I've made has been. You know what my musical instrument is? The mouse.
Hey,
it is the mouse.
You don't worry. You know what my musical instrument is? Here, I just got it a couple days ago, and
yes. Serenade me with the beautiful humming.
Yo, kazoos. Kazoos are such a bop.
Kazoos are a lot of fun.
I was looking up for the most expensive kazoo. I think we found one that was like $800. And
my God.
I also found an electric kazoo. You actually attach it to an amp and it goes like, what?
Dude, that sounds sick. One of the things that I've actually gotten really into is electric cello. Like, just listening to it sounds sick.
An electric cello?
Yeah, if you ever saw Wonder Woman, that theme song is played on an electric cello.
No way. That's dope.
Yeah, it's so sick.
It looks so cool. What is this?
Oh
That's
god, it's so
intense.
cool.
That's a great sound. So like, okay. So would you like to learn the electric cello? Do you think it's something you do?
Oh gosh, like I tried to learn the cello when I was younger. I got put in a music class and I really loved the cello. I love the sound of it. I would not be able to play it. Like I'm very much more an appreciator of the music rather than a player.
What's kind of cool with these electric ones is that you can get some wacky designs. Like I'm looking at this, I'm like, that can't make like music, but like, does that matter? Look at that. That's gorgeous.
No, it's so sick. The sound that it makes is like just strange enough that like you really want to hear more of it, and I love it.
Yeah. Wow. So you're talking about how you were really into Broadway. Any musicals in particular? Is it musicals you like? What kind of musicals you like?
Yeah, I absolutely adore Les Mis. I absolutely adore Cats. The Broadway musical. None of that movie stuff. None of that movie stuff.
Wait. You sure you don't like Cats the movie?
Stop it. We're not talking about that. I haven't seen it. I refuse to see it. I've been listening to songs from different musicals, like Beetlejuice is really good.
The Beetlejuice musical is so good. Oh my god.
So entertaining. I loved Hamilton when it came out. Hamilton was really cool in that it was played in such a different way. Wicked is also really good.
Did you see any of them live? Have you seen the musical live?
I have not seen Hamilton live. I have seen every other musical that I mentioned live. They were all super good. Thoroughly enjoyed them. But Hamilton's the only one that I didn't see live. There are also musicals that I haven't seen fully, but I've listened to tracks if only just because I love watching animatics of them.
Oh, you know, I spent so much time looking at like animatics.
Have you seen like Leave Luann and like Sarah Berry animatics?
Yes, Sarah Berry animatics are.
I think these animatics are so good.
Did Anna Pensa do a Sarah Sarah Berry?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that one.
Sarah Berry. I did the animatic for that video.
You did. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh frick! Shoot. That's so good. That's so cool.
That video. I've done animatics for a couple of different people, like a couple different friends of mine. I have to be very selective about that because it takes a lot of time, and as I mentioned, I don't have a lot of time, so I have to be like very careful what I pick up, especially if it's like there's a due date. I'm like, okay, can I actually feasibly get this done in the time that they need it? And if I can, I'll do it.
Let me ask. What is your favorite Beetlejuice song? Since I'm on here right now, real quickly.
Oh gosh,
the big one.
I haven't
just one. You have to pick just one.
Them. If I had to pick just one, oh lord. See, I can't make that decision because I haven't listened to the whole track. I don't want to be biased in my opinion.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Have you heard Dead Mom? That one was.
I'm very familiar with Dead Mom. Dead Mom. That's
yes.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I've seen like clips of Beetlejuice and stuff. I haven't seen the full thing, but with that particular musical, so many people cling on to like one or two songs that they like thoroughly enjoy. And then you never hear the rest of the tracks, or you never hear like the rest of it. And I'm just like, but I want to know more.
And the thing is, unless you like see it live, you won't ever know the full story unless you're listening to Hamilton, which is literally the entire.
Exactly, that's what I love about Hamilton is that for the most part, there's maybe like one song that isn't in like the soundtrack, but other than that, it's literally just full mixtape. Like the reason he made it like that is because he wanted it to be like a full mixtape. You could listen to it the whole way through and get the whole story, and that is so good. It's
such
so
a vibe
hard to do in a musical.
I have to imagine, like I remember a couple years ago, like a couple friends of mine, like we gathered up a bunch of animatics and we put them into like one massive playlist. And I'm like, wait, is this the entirety of Hamilton if we just sat down and watched all of these animatics? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, it's so crazy, and I love that.
Oh man. Like okay, you had to have listened to like all of Hamilton. What was your favorite Hamilton song?
Oh my god, okay. Okay.
You can't evade this one. You can't evade this
No,
one.
I can't.
Not while
I'm
you're
just
in there. Not
thinking.
while you're in there.
I can't escape this answer. One of my personal favorites is always going to be "Wait for It." Leslie Odom Jr. is such a good vocalist, and I was just sitting there. I'm like, this is my vibe.
Wait
this
for
is
it.
what
Wait
I
for
want.
it.
And the song physically hurt me because I was like, oh god, I'm the one waiting for it now. Because it's like, you're just waiting for that moment waiting for that opportunity instead of taking it for yourself. You're waiting for that moment that you're going to be on center stage. That's also why, like, another one of my favorite songs is actually from the Tangled series, and it's called "Waiting in the Wings." Yeah.
Oh yes.
"Waiting in the Wings" hurts me so much because I'm like, oh god, it's me.
I'm the opposite to you think. My favorite song was shoot, what's the name? It was the one that was like right after that. It was where
Crossing the Line.
How could you No, it was How Could You Write Like You're Running Out of Time.
Oh, that one of Hamilton. I thought we were talking Tangled still.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like you were thinking Wait for It, and I'm like, wait, no. You're the Burr. You feel like Burr at this point. I feel more like the Hamilton. Like Hamilton's like, shoot, nonstop. That's it.
You're lucky I don't have a gun then.
Okay. We're being I'm being threatened here. I think you're trying to turn. You're trying to table the turns, aren't you? Trying to.
The turns have tabled.
Turns table to turn. Cami, God, you are a delight. You are a delight.
Brought Hamilton up. It's not my fault.
We had to. It's either that or we had to like. Okay, so we could talk Hamilton all day. I feel, but also it's also delaying the inevitable. Where I ask you, how was your Undertale time?
I knew this would happen eventually.
I know.
I knew it'd come back to haunt me.
Do you need a moment? You need a moment? Do you need a moment, Cami?
No, I don't need a moment. I had a moment several years ago. It's fine. All good. I've already had that happen to me. Anyway, so Undertale, like, I love the game. I love the story. It's all great.
There's a but. That sounds like there
is a but. There is a but. It's just that the fandom started getting very aggressive about certain things. Like, the perfect example, I always bring up. Yeah, okay. I always bring it up all the time, if only just because I think it's important, especially when it comes to just people enjoying fandom in general. My first song that started making it really big was the piano version of Megalovania.
Wait, you did a piano version of Megalovania?
Yeah, I did it. Like, and I made my own lyrics for it, just for kicks and giggles.
Am I spelling Megalovania wrong? Megalovania?
Mega, an A. It's an A.
Lavania. Okay, you can tell how little of a Undertale person I am because, like, how do you spell?
Yeah, no, all good. But basically,
which one was this?
Scroll down a little bit more.
There it
is.
You've got a lot of Undertale under you, don't you?
Exactly.
An Undertale stream?
Undertale. I never finished my stream, but I loved the game, and I really loved the songs in particular, especially because at that point I was in college and I was swimming, and I loved the songs because they kept me in rhythm, but they didn't have lyrics, so I'd always lose track of how many laps I'd swam, and I was like, okay, I need to put lyrics on this so I can remember how many laps I've swam. I made up lyrics.
Let's actually really quickly like pop in the Megalovania in 2021. 2021.
In a room where I couldn't sing loudly. Perfect. The Comic Sans type.
Comic Sans. Oh god, the Oh.
You can see I've definitely changed how I make my videos.
Oh, definitely, because this one isn't screaming at me. A rock,
yeah,
fam. Good stuff.
This one was simple. Well, I couldn't scream in college. I was living in a dorm with 5 other people.
I mean, you could. There's plenty of people in college.
I mean, I could, but everyone would have hated me. So
I
didn't do it. I didn't put them through that. But this song brought me a lot of a very big wave of fans as well as a lot of hate. Because yeah, what ended up happening is that this song, so many people asked me if they could cover it, and I was like, you know what, sure. I didn't even look at people by the time it started coming around. About a month into this, this one person messages me, and he's like, hey, can I do a cover of this? I'll credit you. And I was like, sure, whatever, just message me when it's done. And like, of course I didn't write it like that, but basically at that point I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And like a month after that, he sends me the video, and he's like, hey, thank you so much for like letting me use the lyrics. I think it turned out really good. And I was like, oh, cool, thank you. Like, people don't normally send the videos to me, so I'm really excited to listen. I took a listen, and I was like, one, this guy has a beautiful voice. Two, why does it sound so familiar? And I like went onto his channel, and sure enough, it was the guy who did the first Stronger Than You Sans Undertale thing. And I was like, oh my god!
That was him? It was him? That guy? I know that guy. Like, not I don't know him, but like I know of him. I'm like, what?
That was DJ Snow. I love him to bits.
Him?
Yeah, that's how we became friends. And like, what inevitably ended up happening, it ended up being that like his video blew up. And what happened is that mine didn't blow up as much, but it blew up considering on my channel.
Right.
However, because his was bigger than mine, obviously I must have stolen from him.
You were the thief. You were the absolute thief. With the credits in his thing. He was just like, hey, look at this loser that like stole my thing that was posted months before I posted mine.
Yeah, it's like it just ended up being this never-ending cycle, especially with a couple of other songs and other artists like being inspired by the stuff that I made to like add it to their stuff. Like the other one
not like this.
The other one that sort of ruined it, not really ruined it, but that made it really difficult was Battle Against a True Hero. Jenny Unreachable put my vocals in her version, and mind you, the first version I did, I was sick, so I wasn't doing as well, but I still wanted to do the song so bad because I loved it, and so I did it anyway. And for like 2 years, I have gotten like, actually, I still get comments on like all my Undertale stuff, but like for 2.5, 3 years after I posted that video, I kept on getting comments of like, wow, this is awful. Like, wow, Jenny did it so much better. Wow, you stole from Jenny. And like, for all of the good stuff that I got for all of my videos following that, I kept on getting the return of those videos over and over and over again. And I'm just like,
oh my god. That must have been, how long were you in the Undertale fandom for? It's like, do you still get that?
I wasn't in it that long. That's what I'm saying. I still get messages on my Undertale stuff.
Still?
Yeah. Like, fortunately, it's not the, oh my god, you stole it from so-and-so. It's like a, god, this is great. I love it. And I'm like, cool. Thank you for enjoying the thing I made like years ago.
Yeah.
Or they're like, or like videos that I've made in the past where you clearly can tell I've like moved on from it. And people are like, oh my god, I can't wait to see like more of this awesome, like this, this being like the fandom, being this awesome content. And I have half a mind to send a message being like, I hate to disappoint you, but you can kind of see that I've moved on.
Yeah, great. Like that, there was a hard right turn. Not a hard right turn, but like, wow. Like, yeah, and sorry to hear about all the hate. Jeez.
I mean, honestly, I'm fortunate enough that I'm not sitting there constantly like thinking about it. If anything, it was really funny because I would show it to my teammates when I was still swimming. I would be like, haha, hey, look, this person called me like this, and this. And then they're like, oh my god. And I'm like, haha, isn't that funny? And they're like, no, that's not funny at all.
Tears streaming down your face. This is funny, guys, right?
Oh, no. Like, I'm
kidding.
Yeah, because like my little mindset has always been like, if you get like hate or if you get like a bunch of people like yelling at you, you're obviously doing something that's going to be big in the sense that it's going to cause controversy. And like, it doesn't mean that you should go out looking for controversy. It just means that like people are going to want to create controversy about you.
You might want to talk to Twitter about that.
Yeah. It shouldn't be that your voice becomes the angriest. It should be that people think that they should be like yelling at you about something and they're not like looking up stuff enough. And it's just like, you just gotta keep going.
Roll off it, you know?
Haha, roll. Just tabletop.
Got it. Oh my god. Are we moving on to the
yeah,
dice? You're moving on to the dice puns versus the rope puns.
Listen,
Really?
sometimes the comments can get a little dicey, but sometimes you just gotta roll with it.
well, you've done like you've put out a lot of content these last years. Like one person once said something like, every time you put up like something like that, it's like another roll of the dice.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's going to be big and what's not. Like, Lioness, fortunately, it started gaining a little bit more traction than it had. But when it first came out, it wasn't doing nearly as well. And I was like, oh, but I really liked that song.
It's your favorite one, right?
Yeah, it was one that I put so much work into. And I was like, oh, I wanted people to see it. Oh, well, on to the next thing. Like, you can't...
It happens. It just happens.
Yeah, it happens. You can't, like, expect everything that you do to succeed, like, as much as everything else is succeeding.
Right.
Like, it's just sort of how one, the algorithm is, two, content is, three, people are. People who start following you for one thing will follow you for that one thing. And if you stop doing it, they're going to stop watching. It's just
right.
the way the world works. And that's why you have like several million Marvel movies, is because people love Marvel. And they're like, we can put out more Marvel content. And everyone's like,
we can keep going. We can keep going.
Yeah, they can keep going. And they have a smorgasbord of opportunity. That's why I really love D&D, is because you're never out of content necessarily. Like, I think that inevitably I'll probably like have a divot whenever I finish up Danny's story, because I'm not going to have Danny as much on my channel. And people are going to be like, what happened to Danny? And I'll be like, her story's done. Like,
it's over. We're good.
That was the end of her campaign. I'm sorry.
Wait, I'm sorry. We can't just get more content for this one character? What?
Like, if I start doing it, we'll have to delve into backstory. And her backstory is sad. And it's very, like, not very as entertaining as, like, the past campaign has been.
Right.
And it wouldn't be fun to watch. So, like, inevitably, you're just gonna have to get more, like, more fresh characters, more fresh content.
I've always loved the idea, the idea that D&D has sold to me, like, a long time ago. I started with 3.5. Like, the thing that sold me was, I was told, if I get this book, and this book, and I keep combining them infinitely, I'll never have to buy another book ever again, because I can just keep making up new stories forever.
I love that. And that's why I love the custom stuff too, is like, you can never run out of ideas if you have a very fun imagination.
Like,
I have oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I was gonna like, I was gonna tell like a little bit of story of mine, but it's okay. It's good.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, like, I've had campaigns, like, so many different kinds of campaigns, like, with World of Darkness. I had the Atlantis, like, looking for the lost city of Atlantis. I've had Falling Through the Seven Rings of Hell. I've had Alice in Wonderland, but sexy. I'm
sorry. Okay, wait. You told me your World of Darkness wasn't like that. You said to me earlier.
I said that the first campaign wasn't like that.
Oh, Cami. You brought it up, and now it's down again. It's there again. The first one. The first one. Okay. All right. World of Darkness, just like World of Darkness. Alice in Wonderland, but sexy? Was the rabbit jacked or what up?
You're not wrong!
Oh my god.
Not the rabbit that you're thinking of. There was also a different rabbit that was jacked.
Yeah, World of... Yeah, was this still Hunter the Vigil, or are we getting into some werewolf up in here? You sure?
No, it's Hunter the Vigil. But there was a custom mechanic that we used. That was basically like, the more moe you were, the more power you had to change, like, the world around you. It was really cool.
Oh my god. I was not expecting to hear Alice in Wonderland, but sexy in 2021. But you know, I guess we're here. This is a good start of the year.
No, that campaign was so fun. That campaign was so much fun.
Okay. All right. I'm vibing here.
I went in with like a shonen, like, hero boy, basically like protag boy. So a lot of my moments where I got like extra power was from like power of friendship. Yeah, guys. Friendship. Yeah.
Wait, what part of this is Alice in Wonderland? How's that?
It was the setting. It was basically like the setting, and some of the characters that we could romance were like the characters from the story. Like we had the Mad Hatter, we had
Sexy Mad Hatter,
Sexy
rabbit,
like the rabbit from that tea time. We had Alice herself. Alice herself was actually the big bad.
What?
Yeah, it was cool.
Wait, did you have a sexy Cheshire cat? I'm gonna judge you.
Yes.
Okay, judged. We're good.
But no.
I'm kidding. No hate.
Another campaign. Just when you don't know the campaign.
Okay, that's fair. I'm playing.
Yeah. What's cool about the Cheshire Cat in that campaign is because the DM brought in a character that all of the players were familiar with. It's because it's like her main OC character who is like jumped through multiple different lives, and so we're like, oh my god, it's one of the lives.
Oh, that's delightful. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, no, it was so much fun. It was sick. And
that sounds really fun.
there have been so many different cool encounters that I've had because of that. And even in Atlantis, we've had some amazing like random moments that just start happening because magic or just because supernatural stuff. And it was like, it's never ending creativity as long as you have somebody creative running it.
Hey, quick question. If you've been playing a while, what is your favorite tabletop story you have? I think
oh no.
This is a spicy one. This is a spicy question.
Okay. Now, what do you mean by favorite? Favorite as in emotional, favorite as in
you have to. I need a genre. I need to give you the genre here.
I need a genre.
Fine.
There's too much good stuff.
Oh, okay. Fine. Let me think. What was the most emotionally impactful for you?
Okay, definitely my first campaign. Definitely.
Oh, going back to the old school.
Yeah, going back to the first World of Darkness campaign, my first player character, because when I told you that like I had a character almost die, it was that story. It was that moment. Because during that session, it was basically like the end of my character arc finally was happening. It was basically like a trial of 3 different tasks, and each task you had to acquire a flower from a spiritual creature. And there was sky, earth, and water. And so I got the sky one, I got the earth one, and what was fortunate is that the other player characters helped me through both of those that I was with at the time. And then the last one was the trial of water. In the Trial of Water, I brought in my favorite NPC who had been with my player since like biscuiting day one. I saved myself there. Apologies. I get very emotional sometimes.
It's okay. Take your time if you need to.
I'm trying to avoid swearing like a sailor, but no. So what ended up happening was that in this Trial of Water, I had to get a flower from a turtle. And the water was like super duper heavy, and like the closer you got to the surface, the heavier it became, and it was more difficult to get to the surface. And it ended up that I failed that task, and Natalie was sinking with Hanya, who's the NPC, and the NPC just like held on to her, and my DM was like, you get the feeling that he's going to miss you, and I'm like, no, he can't die.
Oh no.
I refuse to let this happen. And I was like, I was so upset because what had also happened is that the NPC had just gotten his sister back because Natalie had found out that his sister had been taken, and that's the whole reason why he was in the Hunters Guild that we were a part of. And so she was like, no, he just got his sister back. I can't let this happen. Is there literally anything else I can do in this situation? And my DM was like, well, these are your options. You can attempt to swim to the surface, and if you make it out, Hanya might live, but your dad's probably gonna die. Because one person, basically like she had 3 members of her family, and each trial was sparing one member of her family from having to be sacrificed for this ritual from basically a dying god. And so it was basically like you could either swim to the surface, Hanya might live, your dad will probably die. You can drown, both of you will die. or you can sacrifice yourself and Hanya will probably live.
Oh
And
my
your dad will probably
god!
live, because it's like a sacrifice of blood. And I was like, oh no, oh Jesus. And like this whole time, Natalie had learned that sacrificing herself like so willingly was bad, that it would hurt the people around her. But like in that moment, she's like, this is logically the only way that I can make sure that everybody can make it out okay. I just won't make it. And I hate it, but this is the only way that I can make this work. And so she had a knife. And so she was like, okay, I'm going to stab myself in the stomach. And maybe that's enough blood, and maybe they can help me by the time we get back up to the surface. Like, I hope this isn't the end of me, but it probably is. And everybody was crying because we all like Natalie also had become like the mom campaign.
Yeah.
And so I was just, oh my god, mom's gonna die. And so she stabs herself, and then Hanya like holds on to her and like trying to treat the wound. And as he's like doing that desperately, like all these glowing like water creatures start pushing them up to the surface. And it's like, you see the turtle. And it's like, can I touch the turtle? It's like, you're too weak to touch the turtle. And I'm like, ah! And so it was like the turtle like touches your forehead to theirs. The next thing the next time you kind of like blink, your vision's really blurry. You feel Hanya holding on to you. You're not underwater anymore. You can like, you're not underwater. He's clinging on to you. And in your limp hand, you see a flower. And I was like,
no!
Did I choose? I was like, wait a minute.
No!
I'm not in pain anymore. I'm like, wait a minute. Am I not breathing anymore?
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh my god, can I breathe? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh my god, can I talk? And she's like, yeah. And so I was just like, oh god, she probably like spits up water. It's just like, she like calls out Hanya. And he's just like, Quinn, are you okay? And she's like, look, I did it. And he just like held on to her and cried, and she cried, and I cried, and everyone cried.
That's...
And I was like,
my...
ah!
Oh, that's so delightful. Oh my...
It was so emotional. Everybody, like, the player characters who were there, like, ran over to her, and they were like, oh my god, that was so stupid. She's like, I couldn't think of anything else to do. And she was like, so upset, and they were all like just crying and relieved and all that. And then her dad got set free, and he came over crying, and then her family came over and cried. And I was just like, ah.
You can... Wow.
Ugh.
That's a way to... I can see why you're so enthralled with World of Dark. Like, you know, when you get like a big strong moment like early on in your like tabletop,
I got very
career
in my first. Yeah, I got very spoiled in my first campaign because I had a wonderful GM and wonderful players, and learned the mechanics pretty quickly. If anything, if I could go back and change anything, I would have prioritized like maybe min-maxing my character a little bit more, because Natalie was like pretty well balanced, but she wasn't expert at anything. And I've learned that now, to like put an expertise on one of my characters, just to make it real fun when I like totally ruin my GM's whole career.
I started off with 3.5, and so min max is kind of in my blood. No, that's incorrect. I don't min max. I only max. I have this one character, Arma. I was told to make a level 10 character and to just go at it by my GM, and it's like, wait, can I do anything? It's like, yeah, go for it. And I'm like, okay, this is what's happening. I spent a month, like I consider 3.5 and Pathfinder to be what I call research games. The more you research, the more you get out of it. I spent a month researching this character. And when I showed them this character, I had gotten it checked with 10 other GMs for legality, and they're like, I can't find a single problem with them. But they were level 10.
Oh my god.
They had 15th level spellcasting. They had BAB as if they were level 15. They had 37 AC, 200 HP. My GM just couldn't. Like he looked like he was ready to just tear that up right into pieces. Oh my god!
It's one of those moments. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. That's
dang.
You don't want to be like me. Don't be like me. No, no.
I think
Don't be like
what's
me.
really what I really like is having something that the player's really good at, and as well as something that the player's really bad at.
Yes.
Like, a good example of that is my Waterdeep girl Ileana. I rolled her stats and stuff. She is a rogue, but she is a glass cannon. Her attack is insane, but if she gets stabbed once, she's going down.
Oh no! Oh yeah! No, I feel that.
What's terrifying is that, like, the way that the party has sort of been set up, I initially made her to be sort of like hides in the shadows and like helps and supports from behind. Nope, she's apparently going like full storm in front of these enemies, and I'm like, oh my god!
But she's squishy. She's squishy.
She's so squishy. We are level 5, and she has a total of 21 hit points.
21 at level. Okay, yo. I mean, if you're looking to get a character killed off, like, this is a great place. This is a great place.
She's absolutely like the ultimate glass cannon, and I'm just sitting there like, wait, like. What's really funny is that we've had like a couple of sessions now. This was the first session where she's ever gone down. Because everyone knows to heal her when she gets hit once.
That's fair. It gets hit. Heal me one time. Excuse me, please and thank you.
She's actually. It's so funny though. It's so funny because, like, especially in particular moments, we just got into like a very close combat situation, and it was really funny because everyone was like, "Don't go by yourself." And I'm like, "I'm going."
The rogue! You're the rogue! Be sneaky! Do you have at least a decent stealth?
Yeah, I have a wonderful stealth.
Okay,
I prioritize my stealth and my perception. I am not getting surprised, and I am not getting stabbed. Or I'm not getting stabbed if I can hide. But the problem is, lately, I haven't been able to hide. So, it's been really hard. But it's been so fun. Like, I love the challenge.
One person saying, that's how you should use glass cannons. Throw them into the fray, pat on the back, say, go get him, tiger.
Exactly. You're throwing them against the wall, like, good luck. And you're like, oh, I guess it wasn't the smartest idea to throw them at the wall.
Because, you know, glass.
Because, you know, glass, yeah. It's fine.
God.
I'm sure these pieces will be fine. You smash them on the floor and they break even more. Oops.
It's so good to have, like, I'm the kind of person where I feel that once I've gone into the tabletop thing, with how much you can remix infinitely, especially with like custom stuff, like I can see it like being something I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. What's your feelings like that when it comes to tabletops?
I definitely can always be down to play a campaign. I think it's always an opportunity. Yeah, I think it's always an opportunity to have fun. I think if anything, like, I'm gonna be the crazy aunt that, like, when my siblings have their own kids, I'll like take them like during like Christmas, whenever they need a break, and I'll be like, all right, kids, we're playing a one shot. And you guys got your characters ready like I asked? And they'll be like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, let's go.
It's like, hey, it's like, don't worry, kids, mom. I'm taking him out for ice cream, and then secretly you take him into a library. It's like, hey, get your dice.
Oh no, this would be like during, like, you know, those family get-togethers where, like,
yes.
The kids need to be away for an extended period of time while someone makes the food. I will like run them in a 6-hour campaign.
I've been I personally see myself more as like the dealer. I get people into it because I'm like, hey, you want some dice? Just roll a little bit, and it's all good.
Like, open up your coat. Hey, you want some D20s?
I got a lot.
They're really good. I pre-rolled them.
Yo, you know you a fan when you hear the words pre-roll come out of someone's mouth. Oh yeah, you legit. You hella legit. Okay.
I have several dice that, like, they're lucky and they're unlucky sometimes. And sometimes they'll trick me. Like, I'll roll dice before a session. I'll be like, okay, you guys are gonna be my dice. And it's like, okay, roll with advantage. I'm like, all right, boys. 2 and a 3. What the heck?
No, they baited. They baited you. They were ready for that. How much dice do you got?
I don't have a lot. I literally only bought my first pack of dice last year. And it's not even like an actual set of dice, like a full set. It's like going to a thrift store and finding a smorgasbord of dice, like in one of those random bags that they're like selling. I don't even have a full set.
So you were kind of like dice dice. I think they call them. There's like three types of dice owners. One, you've got your dice elves. They're the ones that bring like 1 to 3 sets always, and they've been like carefully selected. You've got your dice goblins that just have like a massive pile everywhere they go, and you got your dice halflings being like, this is communal dice, right? We can all use these.
I'm sort of like a combination of elf and halfling. In the sense of like my little collection I have right now isn't really a collection. It's just sort of like a mosh pit of different dice.
A mosh pit. That's the most metal way to refer to that.
Match. None of them actually match each other. So like,
I would flip.
No. You'd be very disappointed by my dice collection in that it's not actually a collection.
Can I buy you a full dice set? Because like at this point I'm like,
die.
oh my god. Oh my god.
I love the rolling of the dice, and I think I needed like a little smorgasbord at first just so I can be like, all right, now I really need to have my own set of dice.
You want to hear something?
Sure.
Someone said dice lich, and I'm thinking of someone I knew that had been playing since I think the 80s or 90s, and they showed me their oldest pair of dice, and the vertexes, the points, rounded.
Oh.
That's how much they've been rolling.
Oh my god. That's insane.
It's so wild.
I never thought that I'd hear about that. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's been rolling it for decades, and so they've just been more rounded up. Like you got your shapes, but like it took a while for it to like wobble down. You know what I mean? Like
obviously that takes a while.
Yeah, history of just not getting more dice. It's just impressive. It's impressive to me.
Listen, if you have dice that work for you, then by all means.
If they work, they work. So like, Cami, like I think we're like in a good phase to be winding down. Do you have any advice for anyone out there that like, wants to do it on YouTube, that wants to like, what's your biggest piece of advice for people that like, want to make it on YouTube?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah.
Just start. Just
do
start.
Stuff. Just do stuff.
Just do stuff. Just do stuff that you enjoy, because inevitably.
I'd love to hear that.
Inevitably, people think that like the way to make it is by going on what's popular, and it's like, sure, you could totally do that. But the problem is, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, then all you're doing is following trends, and you're never going to like have a moment of enjoyment from what you're making. The thing I always see about like all my music people is that they love making music. It's not necessarily that they're absolutely enthralled with the fandoms or anything like that. They just love making music. So they like see something that people are enjoying, and they're like, cool, I can make a song about that.
Exactly.
And then they make it. Yeah, like, so that's the thing. Like, you gotta find something that you like and just do it, because people will follow you for you.
The things you want to do.
That way. Yeah. They'll follow you more than the content in that way. Like, I could have kept doing Undertale videos, then I would have never been able to get out, and I would have never escaped. Like, I've had several friends who ended up in that hole, and it's been really hard for them to get out. And so I kind of saw not right away, but like after a little while, I was like, okay, I'm kind of done with Undertale. I'm going to hop out. Like, and this was like at the peak of Undertale. I was like, okay, I'm kind of done. And people would be like, where's more Undertale content? I'm like, I'm done.
You're good. Pivot.
This was a time to be a part of, and time for me to pivot.
It's like, if you stop like enjoying the thing that you're doing and you're making, like, why are you doing it, right?
Exactly. And I think that's also why I think VTubers are having a lot of fun too, because they're just like doing stuff that they like while like messing around with a fun little like icon. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. It is absolutely fun. Just like doing like I've been like sitting on being like, I want to make specifically D&D VTuber content, and I'm trying to do that, but then like the thing most recently that's been done well for me, I was just like, yo, this song by this one like artist I really like just came out, and I want to react to it. I want to do that. And I just did it, and like it went well, and I'm like, so wait, I didn't have to plan for 2 months trying to like make the one perfect thing. It could just like happen.
It can just happen. Like, a lot of the content that I put out, there's stuff that I've planned, like, alone I had planned for like a year. Life of the Bard came out within a week of its creation. It just depends on like what you're doing, and like the motivation behind stuff. Like I have several projects right now that have been in progress for like months because I just haven't been able to work on them. Meanwhile, things have like fallen into my lap that I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to work on this while I'm waiting on this other thing. Yeah, let's do it.
Cami, thank you so much for that advice. That's something I feel a lot of people like need to hear. And I have some artists I want to recommend to you now because like they have that whole like just do it mentality. I love that stuff.
Yay! I would love that.
Cami, I'd like to say this has like been absolutely delightful, and thank you so much for coming on. Like, is there anyone you want to like in particular? Like, do you have any projects coming up that you really want to talk about? Like, talk about you.
There's a lot of stuff that I can't talk about. Actually,
Got it.
It's only just because it's still in like the baby works and production.
Right.
There are 2 songs that I am definitely in the process of working on for Danny.
Mm-hmm.
I can at least say that much. There are definitely 2 more Danny songs in the works right now.
Right.
There will definitely be a 3rd following that, and then it honestly depends on how the campaign goes.
Right.
Honestly, I don't know how else it's gonna go. But,
this song can be really sad or really happy. Depends on the GM.
The next couple songs kind of just depend on how the campaign goes. So we'll see.
Fantastic! I'm excited about that.
Yeah, no, I'm excited too. But inevitably after that, there's definitely like a big project that I've got in the works that's in its like baby stages. And just whatever else I have is what I have.
all right. And yeah, you know, the nice little previews. Is there? So, remember, everyone, you can follow Cami-cat on Twitter and their YouTube. Anyone in particular you want to shill right now? Didn't you want to say?
Shout out to Critical Failsafe on Twitter as well as Rogue Uzu on Twitter.
Awesome.
Both of them are the DMs that have been running me. Like Xander is my primary D&D DM, and Uzu is my primary World of Darkness DM.
Okay.
They're both awesome. Uzu has just like started her YouTube channel, like premiere stuff, and she's working on her 3rd video, which I think comes out on Tuesday.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all of that. Like, God. Well, I mean, I would say I'd let you go, but TBH, I've got a few more questions for you. I've got gonna like, let me just rummage around here. All right, I got 80 more questions for you, and hey, Cami-cat, hey, where'd you go? God damn it! I thought the net was bad. What is that? Okay. All right, folks. I have to go catch a Cami-cat. Later. We got the rest of the stream. Man, she was great. Okay, all right. We're gonna need to find her. Give me a hot minute. I'll be right back.